Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel on human design. Today we're going to go into the grey information. This is information that cannot be proved, but it is part of the revelation that Ra Uru Hu received in getting down human design. And in particular, we're aiming at a description of where we are. Before we can talk about where we are, we need to talk about what we are. And we know that within each one of us, there is a personality crystal and a design crystal and a magnetic monopole. The personality crystal, what we call the witness, is in black. It's all the gates in black on your chart. The design crystal is connected to all what is red in your chart. And the magnetic monopole we refer to as the driver. For our purposes now, we're going to be looking at the design crystal. So the design crystal, when it is not in manifestation, when it is not in form, resides within the mantle of the earth. It moves with the mantle of the earth. And when it's not in form, it has its magnetic monopole linked to it. So there's this direct connection between the magnetic monopole and the design crystal. So all design crystals, whether they're inanimate or animate, they do have this magnetic monopole within them. If we look at the human conception process, there's a lot of information on that in a book on my website, which I'll put the link to in the descriptions, called The Design of Pregnancy. It is the monopole of the male that emits a certain frequency, a specific frequency, that then attracts a magnetic monopole from within the mantle of the earth. It then guides its design crystal into the male's solar plexus center. In orgasm, the single sperm that carries the design crystal guides it, the monopole guides it directly into that place in the egg where it can enter. Think about the magnetic monopole as the driver. Think of the magnetic monopole as that holds us together in the illusion of our separateness. Now, we know from, we think we know from science that we are not separate, that we are all connected. And human design talks about it in terms of the neutrinos that come and connect us all. But actually, we are all together. It is the magnetic monopole that holds us and keeps us connected to the whole. The moment the egg is fertilized, then the design crystal lets go of the magnetic monopole that is within it. And the magnetic monopole goes to the second gate in the chart, and the design crystal goes into the ajna of the human being, where it resides during the extent of the life. Now, Ra often talks about this incredible relationship between the design crystal and the magnetic monopole. So the moment the egg is fertilized, the design crystal goes into the second gate in the body graph, and the design crystal moves into the ajna of the person. And most of you will already know that the personality crystal hovers above the head, isn't even allowed in the body. But those are the three elements of the human being at this level. Coming back to the design crystal, when the magnetic monopole leaves the design crystal, it leaves an imprint, a specific imprint within the design crystal that it returns to at the point of death. The two of them come together again. It's very specific, and it's something that you need to, or you can understand as being connected to the drive of the whole movement of life, if you want. This magnetic monopole ties us to an inherent order that is in the universe. Now, before we take this a stage further, let me just say, for people that don't know, my name is Richard Beaumont. I've been in human design for 25 years, 20 of them training professional analysts. So let's step back and let's look at the revelation itself and the fact that the voice said that the universe is basically an unborn fetus still within its mother. And if you think about that, humanity, in fact, all life forms, because anything, whether it's animate or inanimate, must have a design crystal and a magnetic monopole. So all forms are to the macrocosm what the design crystal is to the human being. So in that sense, we are part of the evolving form of consciousness itself. That's something to ruminate upon. If we come back to the human conception process, we're talking about human gestation. The first 2/3 of human gestation takes place within the design crystal, being guided by the magnetic monopole to create the form itself. In the design of pregnancy, we see the different centers being formed one at a time from within the womb. And in the same way, if we think about the whole universe being part of a single entity that is not yet born, that still doesn't have its personality crystal, then it's no wonder that we don't know what the hell is going on. We're still in the stage, as in an early gestation period, where things are just coming together in form. The body is being built. The body is not yet built, but it's being built. And we're in that early stage. Ra talked about the voice saying that, well, the personality crystal of the totality has not yet entered into existence. It's something that has to come from the outside. And that waking up, if you like, that real personality crystal coming into form is billions of years away. So there's no hurry. There's no hurry for us to try and comprehend, what the hell is going on. Billions of years away. This is one of the things I love about human design. You've got to understand not only who you are, but where you are and what time you're in. I mean, we're at this time and we're trying to understand everything. And it's completely beyond our capabilities. What we can know is our own life and being correct in that life. And for me, that is plenty. So now let's take it to another level. If you're enjoying this, let's think about all the forms and all the design crystals, all within this area that we're in, what we call the Earth. Whether you're into the globe theory or the flat Earth theory, just think about stepping way, 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 way back and looking at all forms, whether they are incarnate or not. They all exist in a certain area. And if you step back far enough, Ra talks about, well, you can see it's all really one big design crystal. Now, that is a mind-blowing thing to think about. It really is. And this crystal lives within a matrix of the 64 archetypes that we call gates or hexagrams. This wonderful revelation from the I Ching. So if this cosmic entity, this single entity, the size of the universe, is true, if we can comprehend that, and the design crystal of all forms is the design crystal of this cosmic entity, and that this design crystal is in the ajna of the cosmic entity, that's where we are. We're in the measuring game. As human beings, we're measuring everything. We're conceptualizing things. The design crystal is there going through all the mental machinations of thinking and conceptualizing and naming and getting a handle on what the hell is going on. So if that's where we are in a cosmic sense, it also raises another question. If you can imagine a being the size of the universe and we're in the ajna, then where is the G center? The G center is a very, very, very long way away. And what is in that G center, in that cosmic G center? There will be the cosmic magnetic monopole, directing and guiding and keeping us all aligned in a particular direction, in a particular evolutionary process. Just as we each have our own specific geometry in our designs, and if you want to get some kind of handle on that, think about the nodes of the moon. So the nodes are not planets, they're more of the direction, the road that we walk along. And the road that we walk along, because it isn't influenced by a planet, is influenced by the interstellar information, what's coming from beyond, if you like. And if you think about the G center of the cosmic entity being beyond, out there somewhere, we're being guided along a particular geometry in order to evolve the form and the consciousness in this life. And how can we relate as individual beings to this conceptual single entity revelation? I mentioned about the imprint in the design crystal. When the magnetic monopole leaves the design crystal, there is this imprint that it can return to when the life is over. Now, we talk about the second gate of being where the magnetic monopole resides, but that imprint is aligned to the cosmic direction, if you like, the evolutionary process. And the amazing thing is that there are at all times certain life forms on this planet that are aligned to that direction, which we're not going to go into right now, although I will refer to it another time in another video with other information. But at a practical level, it brings a lot more sense and understanding to Ra's insistence that we should be correct, that we should be following our strategy and authority that is tied into the totality of who we are as individual creatures, if you like. Because when we look at the second gate, we talk about it as being the center for the higher self. And what is the higher self? Many people have many things to say about the higher self, but in human design terms, it is simply a matter of the combination of what is red and what is black in the chart, the totality of who you are as a self, as an entity, held together in the illusion of the separateness. So being correct in following strategy and authority is actually you're moving in alignment with the higher self that is tied to the cosmic self, if you like, that is not yet fully awake, but tied to the cosmic self. So it's a matter of life is a matter of aligning to who you are in your totality, which by its very nature is also aligning you to the cosmic direction that is coming from outside. Or as Ra was fond of saying, love doesn't live here. Love is out there somewhere. We are being affected by that, but it's not here where we are, but we can align to it simply by following strategy and authority. Well, I know that was that's been quite a wild YouTube video. I hope some of you followed that, and those that didn't, replay it and think about it. If you have enjoyed it, please like, share, and subscribe. And I'll be back again very soon with something completely different. Bye for now.